Good morning, all. So we're about to start a yoga class. This is going to be a class for everyone. I'll provide modifications. Of course, if you feel like you can't follow, or you become too tired, or you have any pains, then stop for a moment. Of course, discomfort in yoga is normal. We are getting in some positions that might be a little bit uncomfortable, but learn to distinguish discomfort from pain. Okay, so when it's pain, please do stop. When it's discomfort, try to stay there, breathe, and maybe try to get a little bit more comfortable in your pose. We're going to start on the mat, sitting in a cross-legged position. Your hands are on your knees, and I'd like you to find the sitting bones and really feel the connection with the sitting bones, the two bones underneath your glutes, on the floor. Here you are starting to engage your core by sucking the lower belly in. You can use a slightly pull back motion through your hands to lift the sternum up. A slight tuck of your chin. You can close your eyes and start breathing in and out through your nose. Inhale. Exhale, pull the navel in towards your spine. Inhale, lift the sternum up. Exhale, pull the navel in towards the spine. Inhale, lift the navel up, the sternum up. Exhale, pull the navel towards the spine. Inhale, keep engaging your navel. Exhale, pull the navel in even more. Inhale again, keep drawing the navel in. Exhale, draw the navel in even more. And now breathe in and out normally for a few moments. Your back is nice and straight. Your chin is slightly tucked. You're sitting right onto your sitting bones. You're feeling the connection of the sitting bones with the floor. Your core is engaged. Finally, open your eyes if your eyes were closed and bring your fingertips behind you. From here, we're just going to open the legs, open the feet, the legs out, and we're going to cross the feet every time, switching. So if your right foot gets in front now, next time your right foot will be behind the left. Here we're just preparing the hips for the rest of the practice. Hips and hip flexors. I hope you can hear me well. I haven't really tested, I have no way of testing it really. But I hope you can hear me fine. Just a few more of these. And then we keep going. Just a few more. 1 and 2. Lovely. So from here, we will just go into a four-legged position. We're going to prepare the wrists because we're going to stay in a four-legged position for a while today. So, first of all, your hands are underneath the shoulders and your knees are underneath the hips. Here, you want to spread the fingers wide and direct the index fingers forward. You're going to keep the elbows straight. You're going to suck the lower belly in so we don't have an overarch of the lower back. And you're going to push the floor away, filling that space between the shoulder blades, right? So from here, you're going to make big circles with your chest, just one direction for now. Pressing the floor through the hands, feeling that stretch, that movement in your wrists first. And then we're going to go all the way around the other way. Just a few more. Remember your core, you're still squeezing your core, sucking the lower belly in. You're still pushing the floor away, everything is supported, no overarching, nice and strong. Bring the wrists together with the fingers pointing out. Place them onto the floor. Same concept again, push the floor away and mindfully move your shoulders side to side. Just a few times here. Make sure you're holding your core. And from here, we're going to make a fist with both hands. So we're here, and the fists are right underneath your shoulders again. For this exercise, you're going to keep the elbows straight at all times. Open one of your hands, pushing slightly, very mindfully, the back of your hand onto the floor, keeping the elbows straight. Then make a fist with both hands again, and open the other one, same thing, trying to stretch the back of the hand. And again, try to keep the elbows straight. Do what you can, don't overdo it. Any pain, of course, back up a little bit. After a while, it should become slightly easier. Good. From here, we're pressing the hands again onto the floor with the fingers pointing back. So here the aim is to stretch more this area, okay, the back of your arm, down to the wrist. From here, again, we want to keep the elbows straight. Unless you want an extra stretch, then you can bend the elbows, tuck your toes under and draw your hips towards your heels. And then come back forward. And again, we're going to do this 4 times in total. And come forward again. Draw the pelvis to the heels. And come forward. Last time, draw the pelvis to the heels. And come forward. Alright, tuck your toes under, sit on your heels, clasp your hands, and rotate the hands, the wrists, one direction. Other way around. And then we are done with the forearms and the wrists. Now we're going to prepare the feet a little bit, starting to stretch the toes and the sole of your feet. So you're starting in this position with your feet tucked under, and then you're going to lift the pelvis up, point your toes, and sit back on your heels again. Just this. For a while, remember your core. At all time, your core is strong. You're sucking the lower belly in. You're squeezing all the muscles at the base of the pelvic floor. That feels like you were holding the flow of urine. So squeeze everything in. Strong core. Good. Just a few more. Lovely. And then we're going to stay here for a little. In this exercise, we are going to move the weight. Now your pelvis, your bum is on your heels. Move the weight to the left leg. Lift the right leg up, bringing the foot on the floor. The foot is pointing out. From here, lift up. Push the pelvis forward. Tuck the tailbone under. And then sit down once again, bringing the right foot back to where it was before. Same thing on the left. Lift the left foot up. Lift the pelvis, push the pelvis forward, and sit down once again, bringing the left leg back where it was before. Again, move the weight towards the left leg, lift the right foot up, lift the pelvis up, push forward, tuck the tailbone under, and then sit down again. Bring the right leg down, and again, lift the left foot up, lift the pelvis up, and then down again. Bring the left leg back into place. Same thing. Right foot. Lift the pelvis up. Push the pelvis forward. And then come back down. Last time on the left. Bring the left foot onto the floor. Lift. And down again. And bring the left leg back into place. So here, of course, if it's becoming a little bit too much for you to stay with the toes tucked under, point your toes and sit here. Otherwise, try to stay with the toes tucked under. This is very important to stretch the sole of the feet and the toes. And clasp your arms behind you. Remember here, we're sucking the lower belly in. All is strong here. The pelvic floor is strong. We're just going to use the inhale to roll the shoulders back and down, lifting the sternum up, looking up. In exhale, we just go back to center. Again, inhale, lift the sternum up, roll the shoulders back and down, draw the arms down, and exhale. Inhale, lift the sternum up. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, roll the shoulders back and down, lift the sternum up. Exhale, come back to center. Just one more time, inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Lovely, finally. Going in a four-legged position. You might want to watch what is happening next. From a four-legged position, we're just going to use the breath to lead the movement. I'm going to use the exhale to draw the pelvis back, going into a child pose. I'm going to use one inhale here. As I exhale, I press the palms together and I draw the hands towards the center of my back. Then I inhale again, bring the hands back to center. Exhale here, and as I inhale, I'm going to go in a four-legged position. You might want to join me now. Exhale, child pose. Inhale here, press the palms together. Exhale, draw the hands towards your spine. Inhale, come back, bring the hands down. Exhale here. Inhale, four-legged position. Exhale, bring the pelvis back, child pose. Inhale here. Exhale, press the palms together, draw the hands back towards the center of your spine. Inhale, bring the hands back onto the floor. Exhale there. Inhale, lift up in a four-legged position. Exhale, draw the pelvis back. Inhale here, press the palms together. Exhale, draw the hands towards the back. Inhale, bring the hands back onto the floor. And this time we're going to stay here in child pose for a few moments. I want you to press the palms onto the floor. Your hands are shoulder wide apart. Your elbows are away from the floor and you're drawing your hands away from your head. Feeling the stretch on your shoulders, on your lats. Just a few breaths here. Your hips are drawing towards your heels. And from here, use one inhale to slowly bring yourself up. And then we're going to go in a four-legged position once again. From here, straighten one leg and then the other leg. Bring yourself into a plank. Tuck the tailbone under, suck the lower belly in, push the floor away, filling the space between the shoulder blades. From here, see what you can do. You can do this from a half plank or from full plank. Shift your shoulders forward and go all the way down towards the floor. From here, keep the hands where they are. Point your toes. Draw the elbows towards one another. Forehead into the floor. Roll the shoulders back and down. Tuck the tailbone under. Use one inhale to lift the chest up. Use your back muscles more than the hands. Exhale, slowly bring the forehead down towards the floor. Again, inhale, lift up, draw the elbows towards one another. Exhale, slowly bring your forehead down to the floor. Again, inhale, come up, draw the elbows towards one another. Exhale, slowly bring the forehead back down to the floor. Inhale, roll the shoulders back and down, engage your lats, look up. Exhale, slowly come back down to the floor. Last time, inhale, slowly come up. Draw the elbows towards one another. Exhale, slowly bring yourself back down onto the floor. Your toes are pointed. From here, get into a child pose position, just for a moment. Exhale here. Stretch your arms, elbows away from the floor. And then as I inhale, come up into a four-legged position once again. You might want to watch here. I'm going to use the exhale to bend the elbows, bringing the chin or the chin and chest onto the floor. From here, as I exhale again, I'm going to go into child pose. Then from here, as I inhale, I'm going to go back into four-legged position. So if you want to join me now, exhale, bring the chin onto the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, bring yourself into child pose. Inhale, four-legged position. Exhale, tilt the pelvis up as you bring the chest towards the floor. Exhale again as you go into child pose. Inhale, four-legged. Exhale, chin onto the floor. Inhale there. Exhale, child pose. Inhale, four-legged. Exhale, chin onto the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, child pose. Inhale, four-legged. Exhale. Inhale here. Exhale. Go back into child pose. Last time. Inhale, four-legged. Exhale, chin onto the floor. Inhale here. Exhale. Go into your child pose. In child pose, bring the forehead onto the floor. Stay here for a few moments. Next time, we're going to hold that back bend, puppy pose, for a few breaths. Here, if you have any pain in your neck, I would probably stay in a child pose, avoid the next pose, or go in your Sphinx pose. I'll show you what I mean. Sphinx pose as a substitute for the next pose. Okay? Elbows underneath the shoulders, palms onto the floor, chest is up, tuck the tailbone up. Otherwise, from your child pose, take one inhale and come up into a four-legged position. Same movement we did before. As we exhale, we want to bend the elbows, and bring the chin and the chest, if possible, onto the floor. We're just staying here. Tilt the sitting bones up, point your toes, roll the shoulders back and down, elbows pointing towards one another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push the hands against the floor, bring yourself into child pose once again. Forehead onto the floor. Elbows away from the floor, draw the fingers forward, the hands forwards away from your head. Just stretch your shoulders, lengthen your spine, including your neck. You can move your neck slightly if you have any discomfort from the previous pose. And then we're going to use one inhale to come up into a four-legged position. We're going to add something here. From a four-legged position, you might want to watch first. We're going to tuck the toes under and get into a downward facing dog. From down dog, we're going to go into a plank. And here, it's up to you. If you can lower down in a nice chaturanga, you will do that. Otherwise, knees onto the floor, exactly as we did before. And then you follow with me. It's going to be next. Child pose. Then four-legged position, downward facing dog again. And then we keep going. So, let's try together, probably better. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips, tuck your toes under. Take one exhale to take your downward facing dog. As inhale, bring yourself into plank. Again here, bring the knees onto the floor if you need, and then lower down into chaturanga or modified chaturanga. As exhale, bring yourself into child pose. Inhale, come up into four-legged position. Tuck your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring yourself into chaturanga, plank, and then exhale, lower down into chaturanga. Inhale here. Exhale, child pose. Inhale for left. Tuck your toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale here. Exhale, bring yourself into child pose. Inhale for left. Tuck your toes under, exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale here. Exhale, child pose. Last time, inhale for left. Tuck your toes under, exhale, down dog. Inhale, bring yourself into plank or half plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale in chaturanga. Exhale, child pose. Have a couple of breaths in child pose. And then we keep going. For the next flow, just follow me. You're going to be fine. Again, as I remind you, you can absolutely decide to stop whenever you need. And just watch a little bit. Just catch your breath. Whatever you are is fine. So just do what you can. So again, let's prepare, inhale, to come up into a four-legged position. For the next one, just follow me. It's going to be fine. So, from here, we're going to, actually, I'm just adding this just now as I feel the need to move a little bit my back, a little bit more. We're going to do a little bit of cat and cow. So, place your hands underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. For cat and cow, we use the inhale to bring the navel towards the floor, tilting the sitting bones up. towards the ceiling, looking up towards the ceiling, pinching motion between the shoulder blades, arms are straight. As we exhale, we want to push the floor away, tucking the tailbone under, lifting the navel away from the floor this time, looking up. Same thing, inhale, look up, pinching motion between the shoulder blades, tilt the sitting bones up. Exhale, push the floor away, feel the space between the shoulder blades, lift the navel away from the floor, looking down. Inhale, pinching motion between the shoulder blades, straight elbows, lift the sitting bones up, look up. Last time, exhale, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under, look down, lift the navel away from the floor. Inhale. Last, looking up, tuck the tailbone down, lift the sitting bones up, look up. Tuck your toes under, exhale, bring yourself in downward facing dog. From this down dog, we're going to stay here for a few breaths. Keep your knees bent first. Then here, I want you to look at your hands and check them if they are shoulder wide apart. Check if you are spreading the fingers wide with the index fingers pointing forward. Relax your neck now. Push back through the hands, lift the sitting bones up, draw the chest towards your thighs. Draw the heels down toward the floor, even if your knees are bent. We have the knees bent just now. Try to stretch your back here. From here, keep this motion with the back nice and straight, roll the shoulders back and down. As you bend your right knee, mindfully straighten the left leg. We're staying here 5 long breaths. 1, you can stretch your toes here, pushing the toes against the floor, the right foot. 3, 4, 5. Bend the left knee as well. Take one inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, straighten the right leg. 1. Again, you can stretch the left toes here again, pushing the toes against the floor. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend the right knee, bring your knees onto the floor, point your toes, child pose for a few moments. Just relax your arms now. Maybe your arms got tired, your shoulders are tired. You can make some movements here. Just relaxing a little bit, making your body rest for a few moments. Make any movement you might need. You might need to move your head a little bit or rock your hips or move the arms back. Why not? Just whatever you need just now to recharge a little bit. Lovely. And from here, back to a four-legged position for a moment. Tuck your toes under and lift the knees up for downward facing dog. So, down dog. All the time, feel free to keep the knees bent. Okay, so the feet are hip wide apart, the hands are shoulder wide apart, knees can be straight or bent. Why they can be bent? Because if straightening your legs means that you get in this position, then I'd rather you bend the knees, tilt the sitting bones up, push your hands against the floor to get a nice and straight back. Just that. Relax your neck, suck the lower belly in. Now we're going to move the weight towards the left foot and lift the right leg nice and straight. Up, point your toes. Lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, you are going to look between your hands and step the right foot between the hands. Bend the left knee and bring the knee down onto the floor. Point your left toes. Lift the chest up. Clasp your hands and bring them on your thigh, on your right thigh. Take one inhale, lengthen the spine. As exhale, pull the pelvis forward and down, drawing the right hip back slightly, the left hip even more forward. Tuck the tailbone under. Use a little pressure against the thigh with your hands to help you lifting the sternum up. Roll the shoulders back and down. 1. Push the pelvis forward. 2. 3. 4. 5. Lovely. From here, we're going to bring the fingertips onto the floor. We're going to take a half split. So here, you are straightening the right leg, nice and mindfully. Walk slightly the foot forward maybe. See if you can straighten the front leg. So here, we're trying not to stay here actually, but we are trying to have a nice and straight back. You can even bring your hands on the leg. You're drawing the right hip back and the left hip forward. Flexing the foot, drawing the toes towards your shins. Roll the shoulders back and down and nice and open chest. 1. 2. 3. Draw the right hip back. 4. Lovely. 5. Start bending the front knee, bringing the foot where it was before. Fingertips onto the floor for a moment. We're going to lift the chest up. Once again, clasp your hands. Have your palms facing forward. Lift the arms up. Roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lengthen, lifting the arms up. Exhale, pull the pelvis forward and down. Roll the shoulders back and down. Look up if you can. 1, lift the sternum up. 2, tuck the tailbone under. 3, roll the shoulders back and down. 4, square the hips. 5, release your hands, bring the lower ribs against the thigh, lifting the sternum away. Bring the arms down and back, the palms are facing away from you. Lift the sternum up, roll the shoulders back and down. 1, keep pushing the pelvis forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, bring the palms onto the floor. Tuck your left toes under. Step back into plank or half plank as we did before. Shift forward, lower down into the floor. All the way down to the floor. Point your toes. Bring the elbows underneath your shoulders. So here, it is very important to get a nice alignment. I want you to check that the elbows are actually underneath the shoulders. Palms onto the floor. Spread the fingers wide. Tuck the tailbone under. Toes are pointed. Use one inhale. Push the floor away with the elbows. Look forward. Here as well, you can have a backward motion through your forearms. And that will help you opening the chest even more. Tuck the tailbone under. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let's have 3 breaths here. 1, 2, 3. Use one exhale to draw the forehead towards the floor. Let the space between the shoulder blades become wider now. As we inhale, push the floor away through the elbows. Again, look up. Exhale, same thing again. Draw the forehead towards the floor, letting the space between the shoulder blades become wide. Inhale, look up once again. Push the floor away, roll the shoulders back and down. As exhale, this time we're going to bring the forehead onto the floor. And we're going to move the hands at the side of the chest. We did this before. So we're going to draw the elbows towards one another. We're going to roll the shoulders back and down, tuck the tailbone under. Use one inhale to lift up. As exhale, bring yourself back down. Inhale here. Exhale, bring yourself into child pose. Inhale, bring yourself up into four-legged position. Exhale, push the floor away. Tuck the tailbone under, lift the navel away from the floor. Inhale, draw the navel down towards the floor. Tilt the sitting bones up, pinching motion between the shoulders. Exhale, push the floor away. Tuck the tailbone under, looking down. Inhale, look up, pinching motion between the shoulder blades. Navel towards the floor. Tuck your toes under, exhale. Downward facing dog. Again, keep the knees bent here. It doesn't matter if your knees are straight. For now, you can just concentrate on giving your back a nice lengthening. Relax your neck. Roll the shoulders back and down. Push the floor through the hands. Index fingers pointing forward. You can also straighten one leg and then the other. You can do this for the whole class. Down dog doesn't need to be static. You can move slightly. See what you feel when you're in down dog. See what you feel if you change the weight a little bit to one leg and then the other. Just play with making some movements. So from down dog, we're lifting the left leg up, nice and straight. Point your toes, lift the foot up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, look forward, bring the weight to your hands and bring your left foot down between the hands. Bring the right knee down onto the floor, point your toes. Like we did before, we're going to lift up, clasp the hands on the top of the thigh. Take one inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, draw the pelvis down and forward. Draw the left hip up, the right hip forward. Push the hands against the thigh to lift the sternum up. 1. Tuck the tailbone under. 2. 3. Keep tucking the tailbone under. 4. 5. Bring the fingertips onto the floor. Mindfully start straighten the left leg to go into a half split. Flex the left foot, drawing the toes towards the shin. Square the hips, drawing the left hip back. And here, lengthen the spine. Create space in the front of your chest. 1. 2. Flex the left foot. 3. 4. 5. Exhale, slowly bring the left foot again onto the floor, bending the knee back to the previous position. Lift the chest up, clasp your hands and face your palms away from you. Inhale, lift the arms up, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, draw the pelvis forward and down. 1. Keep lengthening up. 2. Roll the shoulders back and down. 3. Lift the sternum up. 4. Tuck the tailbone under. 5. Exhale, bring the lower ribs towards your thighs. Bring the arms down and then lift the palms away from you. Engage your lats. 1. Roll the shoulders back and down. 2. Feel those lats activating. 3. Push the pelvis forward and down. 4. Even more now. 5. Bring the palms onto the floor. Tuck your right toes under. Lift the knee up. Bring yourself into plank or half plank. Shift forward, lower all the way down to the floor. Same thing as before. Bring your elbows against the floor, just underneath your shoulders. Press the palms against the floor. Spread the fingers wide. Tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, push the floor away and pull back through the forearms. 1. Roll the shoulders back and down. 2. Just look forward. 3. Tuck the tailbone under. 4. 5. Exhale, draw the forehead towards the floor, filling the space between the shoulder blades now. Inhale, push the floor away, looking up. Exhale, draw the forehead towards the floor once again. Inhale, push the floor away, look up. Last time, exhale, bring the forehead towards the floor. Inhale, push the floor away with the elbows looking up. Exhale, bring the forehead down onto the mat. Bring the hands at the side of the chest. Draw the elbows against one another. This time, your choice, either upward facing dog, straight arms, or as we did before, just keeping the elbows slightly bent. So point your toes. When you're ready, inhale, lift the chest up. You can go in upward facing dog or keeping the elbows bent. Tuck the tailbone under. As exhale, bring yourself into child pose once again. As inhale, bring yourself into a four-legged position. Exhale, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under, looking down. Inhale, tilt the pelvis up, pinching motion between the shoulder blades, look up. Exhale, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under, looking down. Inhale, again, looking up, pinching motion between the shoulder blades, tilt the sitting bones up. Exhale, push the floor away, last time, looking down, lift the pelvis, the navel down, up. Inhale, looking up, navel towards the floor. Tuck your toes under. Exhale, downward facing down. Down dog, straight legs or bent legs. Wherever you are, spine, straight back. Lift the sitting bones up, roll the shoulders back and down. We're going to do a slightly different flow just now. Starting again by lifting the right leg away from the floor. Nice and straight. Try to square the hips, point your toes, lift that leg up. We're going to stay here 3 breaths. 1, 2, do what you can, squeeze the legs. 3, look between the hands and bring the weight to the hands and bring the foot between the hands. This time, we're going to bring the left heel down onto the floor. So if you look back at your left foot is pointing out exactly towards the left upper corner of your mat, and you have an alignment heel to heel. Okay, if you draw a line between from the front heel, it will reach the back heel. Okay, your fingertips are on the floor at the side of your foot. Your lower ribs are against your thigh, like we did before. Square the hips by drawing the right hip back and the left hip forward. You might feel already your right hamstring stretching here, and that's okay. See what you can do. Take one inhale. As exhale, see if you can straighten the front leg, maybe just a little bit, maybe completely. Keep the back nice and straight. Exhale, bend the front knee once again. So inhale. Exhale now, straighten the knee. Draw the pelvis back. Inhale, bend the knee once again. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Draw the right hip back, the left hip forward. Exhale, bend. Inhale, bend the front knee. Exhale again, bend the knee. Draw the pelvis back, the right hip back. Inhale, bend the front knee. Last time, exhale, see if you can straighten the front leg. Now, doesn't matter if your front leg is slightly bent, that's absolutely fine. What we're going to do is this. We're going to bring the right hand on the shin, on the foot, or on the floor, on the outer side of your foot. Okay? Wherever you are is fine. See that now I bring it into my shin. Then you want to lift the left shoulder away from the floor, finding an alignment in which your left shoulder is tucked on top of the right. Suck the lower belly in, lift the left arm up. Squeeze your legs, lift the kneecaps up. 1, 2, legs are strong. 3, look up towards the ceiling if possible, or just in front of you. 4, keep squeezing your legs, suck the lower belly in. 5, lower the left hand down to the floor. Bring both hands onto the floor, bend the front knee, press the palms onto the floor at either side of your foot, step back into plank. Same as before, half plank or full plank, chaturanga. All the way down to the floor. Bring the forearms onto the floor, elbows underneath the shoulders. Inhale, push the floor away, lift the sternum up. Exhale, bring the forehead down towards the floor. Inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, forehead towards the floor. Just one more time. Inhale, push the floor away, look up. Exhale, bring the forehead towards the floor. Bring the hands at the side of your chest. Draw the shoulders towards one another. Point your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, child pose. Inhale, bring yourself into a four-legged position. Exhale, push the floor away, lift the navel up. Inhale, look up, pinching motion between the shoulders. Exhale, push the floor away. Inhale, look up, navel towards the floor, pinching motion between the shoulder blades. Exhale, push the floor away, looking down, tap the tailbone. Inhale, tilt the sitting bones up, pinching motion between the shoulder blades. Tuck your toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. And in the dog, same thing. Knees are slightly bent, or they are straight, or you are bending one knee and then the other. Your back is nice and straight, your shoulders away from the neck. You're pushing back to the floor to lengthen the spine. Whatever you are is fine. We're going to do everything on the left. So get ready to lift the left leg up. Square the hips, drawing the left hip towards the floor. Point your toes. 1, 2, squeeze the left leg. 3, look between the hands. Move the weight to the hands and move the left foot between the hands. So here again, we are bringing the right heel onto the floor. The right foot is pointing towards the right upper corner of the mat. Alignment, heel to heel. Here we're going to bring the fingertips on the floor at either side of your left foot. Draw the lower ribs towards the thighs. So we're trying to lengthen the spine, doing this and keep this lengthening. Fingertips onto the floor. Draw the left hip back, the right hip forward. Take one inhale first. Exhale, very mindfully straighten or almost straighten the left knee. Inhale, bend the front knee. Exhale, straighten. Draw the right hip forward. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, straight leg. Inhale, bend the front knee. Exhale, straight leg. Inhale, bend the front knee. Exhale, straight leg, or almost straight, of course. Bring the left hand on the shin, on the foot, or on the floor, on the outer side of your foot. I'm going to bring my hand on the shin, or actually this time on the foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, lift the right shoulder away from the floor. Lengthen the spine, squeeze your quads. 1, look in front of you or up. 2, suck the lower belly. 3, stack the shoulders on top of one another, on top of the left leg. 4, legs are strong. 5. Exhale, slowly bring your right hand down to the floor. Bend the front knee, press the palms onto the floor at the either side of your left foot. Step back into plank or half plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Point your toes and get into the floor. Forearms onto the floor. Last time, this little sequence. Inhale, push the floor away to the elbow. Exhale, forehead towards the floor. Inhale, push the floor away to the elbow. Exhale, forehead towards the floor. Inhale, push the floor away to the elbows. Look up. Exhale, forehead towards the floor, feeling the space between the shoulders. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bring the forehead all the way down to the floor. Bring the hands at the side of your chest. Draw the elbows towards one another. Roll the shoulders back and down. Use one inhale for upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale, child pose. Let's stay actually in child pose for a few moments here. So here you are lengthening your arms. The elbows are away from the floor. You're walking your hands away from you, away from your head. You should be feeling a nice stretch on your shoulders, on your lats. You should feel a lengthening sensation throughout your spine. Draw your pelvis back if you don't feel that. You should feel. Use one inhale to come up into a four-legged position. From here, we're just going to go into downward facing dog. So from your foreleg, remember first, very important, spread the fingers wide. Index fingers pointing forward, the knees underneath the top, the hips. Tuck your toes under. As you exhale, bring yourself in downward facing dog. Lovely. So remember, down dog, your feet are hip wide apart, your hands should be nice already, shoulder wide apart as we prepare to turn into when we were in a four-legged position. Roll the shoulders back and down. Tilt the sticky bones up. Give your hamstrings this nice stretch now. Then from here, walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend the knees here. Bring the lower ribs against the thighs. Bring the hands towards the feet and take hold of the big toes with the index and the middle finger, like they were a hook. The palms are facing towards one another. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, pull up against the toes to lower the ribs towards the thighs. So the ribs are against the thighs. Bend the knees as much as you need to do so, okay? No space between the lower ribs and the thighs. Relax your neck. Move the weight towards the front of the feet. Lengthen the spine. Tilt the sitting bones up. 1, 2. Again, bend the knees as much as you need to do so. 3. Still, try to feel a stretch in the hamstring. 4. Lengthen the spine. 5. Inhale, lengthen the spine halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees as much as you can, going a very, very low squat. Keep the arms in front of you. Maybe you're here, that's okay. Whatever your squat gets, that's fine. Here, we're going to inhale and lift up. And then we're going to exhale and take the squat again. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, fold again in your squat. 2 more times. Inhale, come up. Exhale, take your squat. Inhale, come up. Exhale, take your squat once again. Inhale, come up. This time, be careful here. We're going to exhale, bend the knees slightly, Fold forward once again. Bring the fingertips towards the floor. Inhale, lengthen the spine, move the weight towards the front of the feet. Walk your hands forward. Let's take again downward facing dog. We're almost done. Give yourself a nice stretch. Lengthen the spine, tilt the sitting bones up. Look between the hands. And here, move the weight towards your hands, almost in a plank position. Okay? Then bring the right knee towards the right hand. Bring the shin onto the floor. Then bring the left knee towards the left arm. Cross your shins and sit down. You should end up in a cross-legged position onto the floor. Lovely. So from here, we're just going to lie down onto the floor for a little bit. So first of all, we're in the closing part of the class, so you can start relaxing a little bit now. You're going to bring your arms in a T shape or in a cactus shape. So this one being a cactus shape where you're stretching a little bit more your shoulders as well. So decide either a T or a cactus shape, and then you're going to lift the knees away from the floor. You're going to cross the right leg on top of the left. Cross your legs. Bring the knees again above your pelvis. Take one inhale. As exhale, draw both legs towards the left side of your body. Try to keep the shoulders on the floor. Just relaxing here. You can close your eyes. Use one inhale to bring the knees up once again, just above your pelvis, and cross your legs. Cross the left leg on top of the right. Same thing, take one inhale first. Exhale, drop the knees towards the right side this time. Try to keep the shoulder blades onto the floor. Don't worry too much if that's not possible. Inhale, bring both knees up and cross your legs. Squeeze your knees to chest. Try to hug your elbows here. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Keep the head onto the floor. When you're here, try to unfold your tailbone towards the floor. Okay, so I'm doing this movement here while I'm still holding my knees to the chest. And feel a little bit more that stretch. You should feel a difference here. Keep squeezing the knees towards the chest. Lovely. You can rock side to side a little bit now. Relax a little bit. Just rock side to side. And then from here, we're going to take a big, deep inhale through the nose And then we are going to exhale from the mouth. So take a big, big, deep inhale. As you exhale from your mouth, just take your Shavasana, relaxing your limbs onto the floor. Your arms are along your body, not too close to your body, not too far away. Your palms are facing up. Bring your chin slightly towards your chest to lengthen the back of your neck. Roll the shoulders back and down. Readjust your arms. Tuck the tailbone under slightly. Allow your feet to drop to the sides. Close your eyes. Breathe in and out from your nose. Allow yourself to stay in Shavasana for 5 minutes, at least 3 minutes, I'd say, 3 to 5, maybe more. Just relax. You stay there in Shavasana for as long as you wish, and I'm going to close the stream. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next week. Bye bye.